everyone. Today I'm listening to a new band for the first time. This band is called Ex-Ambassadors, and the song is Renegades. Ex-Ambassadors are an American pop rock band from Ithaca, New York. Kind of going to the other end of the country than where we often find ourselves, it seems. Renegades was released as the second single in 2015. It peaked inside the top 10 in 10 countries, including France, Germany, Canada, and Poland, where it reached number 1. In the United States, the song peaked at number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100 and was certified platinum by the RIAA. The song was nominated for the Top Rock Song Award at the 2016 Billboard Music Awards. So this is a newer band, isn't it? And, well, let's see how we like them. Okay, this is interesting. A lot of the more modern bands and songs that I hear, they sound, they have some nice things about them, sometimes some really nice things about them. But it's rare that I hear something that somehow comes across as really fresh. I'll tell you what sounds fresh to me, and maybe it's simply because I don't know a lot of the music. I'm not really thoroughly versed in the music of this era, but what sounds fresh to me is their choice of melodic shape. Da-dum, da-da-da-dum, da-dum, da-da-da-dum, da-dum, ending and moving upwards, kind of running upwards, and escaping out the top, so to speak, rather than run away with me, lost souls in revelry, da-da-da-da-da-dum. I'm kind of just making it up on the fly, but I'm showing you what I hear so often is a pitch chosen and then a little drop off at the end. And sometimes that's a bit of an exaggeration, a bit of a stereotype, but at the same time, sometimes that's all we get. So to hear something like this, we're coming to the next verse here. Let's really notice this.
Long live the pioneers.
Long live the pioneers.
Rebels and mutineers. Go forth and have no fear. Come close and lend an ear.
Okay, sure. By the fourth time we hear it, we start to feel like, and when is the conclusion coming? Because in a way, it's kind of imitating the speech habit that really went through a fad a few years ago of ending everything like this. You know what I mean? And I was thinking it would be a good idea to go, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So we could say perhaps it's mimicking that, but it doesn't really sound, it doesn't have that feeling to me of being simply a mimicry. It feels like it has some real energy to it. Although, yes, by the time I hear the fourth line, I feel like, okay, 3 was good, 4 is a bit pushing it.
Come close and lend an ear. And I say, hey, 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 leave it like we're renegades. Hey, hey, hey,
They came down there a bit.
leave it like we're renegades, renegades, renegades.
Okay, and the other thing that catches me on this, which I'm not sure I actually like, but I notice it, that is that there are some moments where it feels almost jumbled, almost like they were playing along and then somehow, I don't know, they skipped half a bar, or somehow in the editing they chopped a bit out by accident or overlapped something funny. You know, I noticed it in the introduction, and maybe we'll jump back there for a quick second here. This little bit of guitar intro. That pattern. Bum bum da 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 dum bum da da dum bum bum da da dum bum bum da da dum. Those da da dum strums almost sound like they're a bit garbled, meaning it sounds like somebody's not quite sure what they're supposed to be doing there. And so they're just kind of, you know, faking it for a moment and then going back to the notes they're sure of. It's like, I gotta get to the next chord real quick. Then it gets a bit more confident and clear here. Okay, now, coming back to this that happened here. Oh, wait, what just happened? We were just doing something. And then, hold on. What really happened there? So unceremoniously.
All hail the underdogs, all hail the new kids, all hail the outlaws, Spielbergs and Kubricks. It's our time to make a move, it's our time to make amends, it's our time to break the rules. Let's begin, and I say, hey.
The other thing I'm noticing here, there's so many things that are unusual to my ears. This is sung by a chorus of voices. Whether it's one person multi-dubbed or a true chorus is irrelevant. What matters is that each voice is taking a slightly different approach to the singing style.
All hail the underdogs.
You hear somebody coming in, all hail, and you hear somebody else going, all hail, and it's this mix of how do you attack that first note.
All hail the underdogs, all hail the new kids, all hail the outlaws, Spielbergs and Kubricks. It's our time to make a move.
But the fact that there isn't a consistency in how that first pitch is approached actually gives it works really well there. I kind of like it. Truly, I do. It gives it, well, one of the things you've noticed if you're following my journey is that in many of these modern bands, okay, I like something. I like this. Some of them I really like. Some of them just feel too perfect, too impersonal in the way the end product comes out. And I know it has a lot to do with the production process and all of that. But here, to have these differences in approach to that first note somehow makes it feel more immediate, more real, more personable, more More like I'm listening to a real person with a real singing voice and not somebody who's gone through auto-tune and cleaning up the sound and all of that.
All hail the underdogs.
Isn't it nice?
Hail the new kids.
Gives it a little bit of a meaty sound.
The outlaws. Spielbergs and Kubricks. It's our time to make a move. It's our time to make amends. It's our time to break the rules. Let's begin. And I say, hey, hey, live it like we're renegades. Hey, hey, live it like we're renegades. Renegades.
Also, that sort of not quite together hand clap. Not quite together. Interesting. So this one is an odd mix for me. That one transition moment that was so smashed together. Really? I mean, everything else is really going along quite nicely, and they throw that in the middle? Okay, I truly didn't think that was a great choice. But on the other hand, the things they've done in this piece of music to make it feel natural, in spite of the fact that it's clearly a 21st century, all the available recording and music production techniques, and some of them have clearly been used in here. At the same time, they've found ways of kind of roughing up a few of the edges to make it feel more, shall I say, authentic. And I think that they did a pretty good job of that, especially considering it's a fairly simple piece of music. But as I said, these are the two main things that intrigue me and attract me to this piece. One is how the way they approached the idea of melody in here. It doesn't have a highly developed melody. It doesn't. But it's a whole different feel than so much of the modern stuff that I listen to, which is either short little snippets of a longer phrase that is interrupted for whatever reason, or something where you stay on one or two pitches and then maybe a little filigree here, there, and then it drops off. Or the more extreme example of starting and then mainly a descent, which always gives the feeling of, a bit of sadness, a bit of, sometimes it sounds deflated, sometimes it sounds mournful, sometimes it sounds depressed. You can present it in different ways. Sometimes it just sounds incredibly final. But here, to take it the other direction, run away with me, lost souls in revelry, running wild and running free, two kids, you and me. Well, it kind of suits the idea of running wild and free, We never really come to a place that contains us and pulls us in. Living like we're renegades. The other thing I enjoyed is that this piece doesn't sound, although you might say renegades, it doesn't sound really bitterly rebellious. It's more the sort of carefree attitude of, yeah, let's have some fun, let's be free. And I feel like the music does a good job of that as well. So there is that melodic feature. And then there is the approach to the entrance of the voices, where each voice was slightly different, a little bit different approach, a little bit different tone or texture, maybe even not precisely entering at the same time, gives it a very immediate, real feel. Same with the hand claps, which featured throughout. They were never precisely all together. It was more ta-dum, or as I tell my students, the popcorn effect, which when you are playing a keyboard or a harp in an ensemble, that's something we really strive to minimize because otherwise it can get way too much. But here, in this context, it actually makes it feel, as I said, more real, less synthesized, less produced. And I enjoyed that about it. So that's my first exposure to ex-ambassadors. I'm a bit curious about what else they've done, and maybe they'll feature again in the future here. But that was the Renegades. Fun, interesting, enjoyable first listen for me. And I'll see you soon.